to the scene, it's your host TTP. We're flying high in the crypto sky, just you and me. From Bitcoin rush to Ethereum, we traded all the coins with the trading parity, making that joyful noise. We got bots, we got plots, charts on the big screen. 3 comments to Wick, Hunter with a trading machine. Laughing all the way to the bank, it's a fun parade. With every trade we made, watch how we get paid. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game, with the vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light, trying to trading peril. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts, the RSI, liquidity at a glance, trends on the rise. We never leave it up to chance. All trading tools of the champion breed. With AI and math, we're planting the money seed. Laugh with us, trade with us, ain't no looking back. You're with the parrot now, leading the pack. Alpha profits, snap plus with the crypto law. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with a vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light. Join the trading peril. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts.
Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Today is inauguration day, and as I promised, I was going to cover it live. The only thing that is changing is that I decided to go live a few minutes earlier, and I'm just seeing that the event is already going on. There is Trump there in the events saying hello to all the colleagues and people. People are applauding, so I guess that anything can change anytime. Anything can give a reason for the markets to react. And also we need some headroom as well to do some homework and look at the charts before things start to happen. So let's do some warm up together. If you are here in the live stream, I can see we are already 100 people and new people are joining constantly, so that is great. But all I'm asking you, 100 people, I want 100 comments, 100 likes in the YouTube stream. That really helps. We're gonna do QA later. If you have any altcoins you want me to review, make sure that you write it down now. I'm gonna go through them from top to bottom. So obviously, if you are the earlier one that requests a coin, we're gonna review it first. So let me go into the charts. I'm gonna hide this. Let's go into this mode. Hopefully you can see. Let me know if the sound is good as well, and if you can see everything perfectly well. No live translation. Which language do you want, Anas? Let's go and let's see what's going on with the charts. Let's go and see what's going on. I usually like to see how much retail we have in here. This is usually something that I appreciate, going higher. And I think now we are at 44. If I remember right, we were lower in the morning. That means that more retail is coming. If I remember right, that number. If not, forgive me, I think it was 40. But that is actually relevant. Seeing more retail in the market means that there are more opportunities. I'm going to say it in a mild way today. Some people freak out that I call them exit liquidity, but that's what it is, right? So retail is exit liquidity. You want to become a market maker and stop being exit liquidity. And that's why you watch this channel. So hit the like. Look, this is good. We are seeing still the resistance at 32 billion in terms of open interest, and that is means that we are still respecting that line. It's still important. Price is doing the same. So we got our alpha is still not playing out, but it hasn't broken. That's why I'm excited about that. We've been all day up and down with the volatility. I told you we're going to get a lot of volatility. Get used to if you are in a position, and be prepared for your plan, because I think there's additional one coming. On the weekly time frame, how are things looking? We are still in the breakout area. Of course, we are above 104.3. So check, that is good. We took the liquidity at the top, we took the liquidity at the bottom, and we are still in a ranging area in this area. If we were in a green candle and the green candle was above 108.3 on the daily basis, I will say that we are in the breakout area, right? Because we're still holding above that, but we came back below it. So that is looking like we are still ranging. And from the point of view of the 4 hour, we had last night this pullback to the scene of the crime. After that, we bounced to the highs, and that's when actually we took those highs and liquidated 1 billion. And I think it has increased slightly since the morning. Probably it has. Now we are at 106 billion, with 75% of all the people liquidated being longs. And that is because they were not watching the channel, okay? There's only 200 people, and you should be happy that we're talking about all this alpha just among us, okay? Just 200 people. It's going to be a lot more difficult if I have to share alpha with 100,000 people and keep that secret. But when I say there is danger at 106, when I say we're going to 101 or 100.5, yeah, that is alpha, and it's a lot easier to get done with that reduced audience. But still, let's grow the channel, and we'll find other types of alpha later if we need to. We are in this channel on the 4 hour. I mentioned that in the preparation room video I published in the morning. This is the channel. We have bounced here and there, and I'm expecting to continue on a channel down. The only exception, as I said in the preparation room, is if we see a breakout from here, which I think is low likely to do it now, and it could be a trap. So we're going to be very, very careful if we exit this channel from the top. And the reason is because we haven't matured the channel to the downside. So it is in a shape where most of the time tends to continue going lower. Okay, we leave a bit longer inside the channel before we exit from it. And I think that is more or less the expectation I have, to hit the high, come back down. Doing so, there can be higher highs still in the price. So don't get confused. We are analyzing the RSI, not the price. Hopefully you watch more than a few videos from me in the past, so you are getting used to what I mean when I talk about the RSI and when I mean about the price. And the daily so far is still respecting the white line. This white line is becoming kind of the start of the show in the past few days, with that rejection at 102.7 and recently at 110. And as I say, we could continue with the price going higher, but still hitting resistance each and every time. And that's beautiful because it's providing great alpha on when to unload some of your profits or where to short, and look for opportunities against that resistance that is still a little bit intact, we could say. And if we look at the price action, we got that resistance perfectly there. You can see how well we are respecting it. At the moment, is at 109.5. And I'm trying to go quick as possible because I want to kind of monitor the events. So if something changes in terms of the event or something that we need to be aware, make sure that you write down enough comments so I see this scrolling on the side of my screen and I pay attention. And the price is not moving, so nothing has happened. Price typically is going to move before even the event happens. That's what typically happens. On the daily, we are above the top of the range. We are defending it. We have put a high. We are at the same close as this. So the body is respecting the highs of 106, kind of an ongoing battle at the moment. And depending on how we end the event, if it becomes a sell the news event or not, this could become a top information. Or if we close the daily higher at around, let's say, 108, 109, 110, then we increase the chances that we can go for the top of the liquidity. Liquidity resumes obviously from 110. That's the area where we took the leftover that we left when we were crashing from 106. We came back up and we took that red. And if we want to continue, we need to go beyond 110. That is pretty obvious. That is untaken. It's yellow immediately and then it becomes red around 112.5. So if we get to 112.5, things might become pretty interesting. Two ways that this could play out is you enter the red and you could start a short squeeze. The short squeeze is not always guaranteed. Okay, it means that you start liquidating, and those positions that are force closed in the exchange feed the other ones in a process that creates like a snowball effect, and then you see those movements up, crossing the liquidity very fast. And that is one outcome. Sometimes when the conditions are not necessarily the ideal for a short squeeze, you see the price pinching the first liquidity, and that causes a market sell that is not large enough to continue with a short squeeze, in which case you see a rejection. Okay, sometimes it happens in that way. So it's impossible. I don't have a formula to tell you whether this is enough or not for a short squeeze. But when we enter that area, we look. Okay, we look for strong rejections. It's tough because it's going to be high volatility if we get around the 112, where things start escalating in terms of liquidity. I think there's an opportunity for short squeeze, definitely, because this is increasing. Okay, that those are ideal conditions, but it's just part of it. It's not everything. I've seen things going up in liquidity, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get my short squeeze, and I saw a strong rejection, and then I was like disappointed. It can happen as well. So be prepared for either. Let's see what else is important today. Well, we are in extreme greed. You know what to do. I hope you did the routine this morning. And let's see what else we got. In the short term, there is nothing evident. And I want to see everything to do with order blocks, order books, to see where are we standing. Okay, so we got all this red that has meant nothing going up. This is ask liquidity. What has played out pretty well is during the impulsive move, whenever we get an increase in bidding, it has become buy the deep opportunity. Okay, so coming back into support, that is support, together with that bid liquidity is a great opportunity. So if we start seeing a sell off, we should come to this chart, see TA lines, and pair them with what the ask versus bid liquidity is saying live. Longs are coming back. Okay, so they seem to have bottom at 41.5. I remind you that the alpha in here consists in going below 40. When longs are below 40, next to a price surge, typically that marks a top. But you can see that we are still around there and the longs are stepping back in. So that could lead into another move up. So what is it means that we cannot use as an alpha for saying this is a top, because the longs are increasing, and longs increasing according to this alpha is not sufficient to become a bottom like it was in here, right? So in here, it reached 43, and then the price start crashing immediately, and with the crash the longs started entering. In here, they are increasing and there is no crash so far, as far as I can tell, right? We are at 106.5. So we are still pending there. And let's see the risk on the delta as well. That's important before we approach the event. We got 371, so it has cooled down a bit with the move down in terms of taking some of the longs. The liquidity at 110 on FAR charts. Let's see how it's looking. We got $110 million on Binance futures, still at 110. going higher, we get 120 and 115. Pretty clever people. 10, 15, and 20. Always rounded numbers. So silly. Let's go to the delta. Delta has put this high. We are pointing down. Okay, it no alpha in here. Let's see the order book. Anything that stands out? Well, some demand is coming in at 91 and at 95. Interesting. And this started in this candle. As soon as we enter this 4-hour candle, let's go into the 15 minutes. Let's see if this is really that new. Okay, so it's almost 5 p.m. In UK time. And at 3 p.m., more or less, they started adding in here. So someone wants to fish for a large move down. And their interest is somewhere at 95. Initially, they were thinking 98, but they move it to 95 and 90. On the top end, they want to short on Binance 120, and that it's happening in the last half an hour. Okay, so that is interesting to know. We got their liquidations at 109.5 on CoinGlass. Below, there's a party of liquidations getting into 90K, 96, which is a little bit 1K more than that 95 that we just saw, but there are liquidations there. So they're trying to fish if there's a large wick. I guess that someone is thinking maybe we can get into this fair value gap and take that. There are no fair value gaps to the upside, and there's market is not open, so it's looking just like on Friday. So that is what I got as a preparation. Let me know if you want to know anything else when it comes to Bitcoin. What else am I missing that you may want to know? We can also have a very quick look at what's going on with other coins in terms of liquidations as we currently stand before the event. It's just 2 minutes. How is it going with the event? Is this live? Yeah. Oh my God, Biden. That face. I'm not going to be political, everybody has political opinions and everything. I'm just going to stick to the charts. Anyways, what else do I have in here? I was going to look into Ethereum. Yeah, let's go with Ethereum. It's better than getting political. Ethereum liquidation levels. Wow, this is very bright. Okay, Ethereum we got at 3,100 in the short term, big liquidations, but we also have an opportunity at 3,500. There's big liquidations. Those are short term ones. And then we got at 37. And if we go to the long term, probably we're going to see, I think it was 4,200, the largest one. So we got at 37 and all the way starting from 39 becomes interesting, but definitely 4,100 to 4,200 more or less, give and take. It's the largest to the upside. To the downside, we have to go pretty low to find red. We have to go to 2,000. So I think that is out of reach unless we get a black swan event. Doable to the downside if we had like a big shakeout in Bitcoin. Well, hopefully we're not gonna go there, but what's next in terms of yellow? This is this hill in here, which is at 2,700, and gosh, I really don't want to go there because it's already causing a lot of panic sellers Ethereum, and I want it to recover so I can sell my Ethereum bags. But this is looking promising. Anyways, it's been respecting this as a resistance. So, if we just weak there to 27 and then we recover and break out, that is fine. I just don't want to enter in this area with Ethereum and continue dragging like this below 33K. Remember, in my TA recently, I qualified that area as the horrible area. Okay, we are in the it's okay area, and ideally we want to go right below 4K to start entering the awesome area for potential to go to 5,000. Any other top market cap coin that we could review? Let's see how XRP is doing in the longer term. And yeah, XRP, I'm just surprised by seeing the liquidations on XRP. There's really nothing going on in here. Like, very little amount of people are shorting it. There were some sellers in here, and it went to $2.8, which is my selling price. But nothing really going on. There's just liquidations at 3.4, and I call for 3.3 being the local top, and then 4.4. But I think to get to 4.4, we need to do a lot of work here. There's no incentive from liquidation levels. So at the moment, if we rally, I will say it's just rally because people are accumulating. But to be fully honest, I prefer a rally where there's liquidity, there's pain. If there's no pain, there's no gain. Okay, it's as simple as that. I remember that was the say when you were going to the gym, but it also applies to liquidity on the charts. Okay, I'm gonna go with questions. In the meantime, I'm gonna go from the top, and I'm just gonna move this in here so I can show the questions live, and never miss a comment. Okay, the RSI group, we got this first comment in here. Jose, how are you? From Canary Islands. Great, Jose. Now you're famous there with the comment. Hi, Mariano. Can we please look at say an APT? Okay, let's do it very quickly. Very quickly. If there is any move, impressive move in the market, please start typing comments like crazy so I can see this thing scrolling and I pay attention and we don't miss a big move. I got multiple monitors, but sometimes you can miss this. By the way, before I go into Aptos and say, remember that I was making the video on Sunday on Trump coin. Okay, that video got so much hit. People were hating me for saying anything against this coin. But I got really lucky because it said right at the top. I wasn't planning for that. I wasn't thinking, oh, this is the top, I'm a genius. No, I promise you, all I thought was, it's pretty heated, right? It looks like a double top there. And here we have some sort of head and shoulders on the 15 minutes. Dump. It is getting such a dump. Well, are you talking about EGLD? Yeah, that coin. I thought we were getting a dump on Bitcoin. You scare me, dude. And we started collapsing with the price there, and then the video got loads of comments that you cannot do to TA to this, and of course the price is slapping them back in the face because this was pretty tradable. Actually, it crashed there. The RSI went to 26, price corrected 51%. Then we got a nice 70% to the upside, and it's testing those levels now as resistance, and we are in a channel down. And what I wanted to say about Trump is, whether I hate it or not, and I'm not going to trade this, I'm staying away from this crap like a plague. But I have to tell you that if you are into a very degen, high risk that can rip your face kind of trade, there can be an opportunity in here, and consider it a 50-50%. Okay, 50% you're going to lose your deposit on this trade. It is that we have formed this channel and it's been very respectful of this trend line, and that is a good hint. Apart from the fact that with the cross-fit ratio we went down there, the longs have stepped back in here to the lower area to 29 on delta shorts and longs. So the opportunity was there at $46, and we are still around those prices. And if we hold this level there and we continue in the squeeze, this could do something like a squeeze here, and then an impulsive move. Okay. But as I say, this is a big risky dump. Let's go. Let's go back to the charts. My God, where is Bitcoin? It is here. 103, 102. Woo! We're capturing history live. Okay, let's go into the 4 hour. And here's my channel making news again, okay? Do you see this line? What are we doing, guys? This is awesome. How many people are watching this? 500 people are only benefiting from my channel on the 4 hour. It's such a shame. I saw your comments in the beginning of the stream, and there was just one comment, 30 people waiting for the stream. And I start the stream telling you, I feel like the highest likelihood is that we're going to respect this. And well, we made a trip to the bottom of the range in here. So that is 41. Let's quickly place it there. Let's see if we have already reached that. I think it's 41. Let's switch on this. No, we haven't. 41 is at 99K. So a full trip here to the bottom of the range at 41. If we did that, we get to 99K. And at the moment, it's holding. And this is a candle in progress. Okay. So there's 3 hours to confirm this. So when I'm going to do some observations that are 3 hours early. So if we were to hold in here, we will have a higher high. Which is positive for continuation, but 3 hours early, you cannot trade it like this and start entering positions intra-candle unless you're crazy. It seems to be getting bought up, and what is triggering this thing? Just kids singing. This is ridiculous. Well, I don't think he has said anything. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Trump coin is also dumping. There's just people celebrating and watching videos. There's no one saying anything inappropriate. So we are still respecting the resistance on the weekly. And where is my Trump coin? Yeah, it's pinching the support. So it is at risk. But if it gets bought up above $46 and it holds there on the 15 minutes, that is recovering above the support, which is, still the setup is still there, intact. Of course, if we close a 15-minute in here, we start risking the setup, or we need to slightly shift the type of setup. Let's see how other coins are reacting to this. So XRP moved all the way to $1. That is not as impressive. Damn, these lines. Let's go to the 1 hour. 50 minutes is just too low. Maybe 4 hour. How is it looking? It's just reacting with the rest of the market. Unfortunately, all the coins are just going to overreact and give you the idea that something is bearish, but it's just following Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of the king at the moment, and it's going to have the last word on whether we dump or not. Price action is back below the highest close on the weekly. So hopefully, we close this week above that, but it's too early. We're going to see this flickering multiple times, is my guess. And what else can we see? An indecision candle on the 4 hour forming. Too early still. Come on, guys. We can get more likes. Just 90 people out of 300 people that are watching the stream have taken the time to just hit one single button. We have to get to 300 likes. That is the main motivation to continue doing these streams and to sharing the alpha. Okay, let's go and let's do that TA on Aptos. And it was on Aptos. And which one was the other one? I lost it. Say, I think it was Say. Yeah. Let's do APT, USDT. And let's see the big picture. Okay. Price action. Yeah, Aptos is so annoying because it's got this week on listing time. Um, mm, mm, mm. I mentioned about this cup and handle, and we have reached this level, but Aptos needs to come all the way back to $14 to complete the full setup. This is a weekly setup, so it could take additional 2 months to complete. And at the moment, what we have against us is that we have lost the support on the weekly. So after the breakout in here that occurred in July, it has a very decent rally to 70. And then in one move, it lost this whole thing. So if I was sitting on my hands, I wouldn't enter on Aptos after losing this. And I'm not saying it doesn't have an upside, but it hasn't even done what other coins like Solana has done, which is to form the double bottom formation and then to get the rally against resistance. So Aptos is still like bleeding in here, crying in a corner. Um, so if I wasn't invested in Aptos, I will probably look for other opportunities where I see more strength. And if I look into Say, let's see if it's looking a bit better. So Say also lost that support and is kind of in a similar situation, not being able to form the double bottom, indeed putting a lower low on the weekly. So it has had a rally to 65, even less than Aptos. So there is also some weakness in here. And I think all the coins, many coins that are lower in the market cap are seeing some bleeding, primarily because Bitcoin is taking now the dominance. Okay, that is a fact. Two, because the dilution and the lack of liquidity in the altcoin market. So I'm not saying that there are fundamental things wrong with a specific coin. Indeed, I know nothing about those two coins in terms of fundamentals, but the chart is showing weakness and blame as well. Trump coin, is sucking in a lot of liquidity out of other projects like this that may or may not be strong fundamentally. I'm not the person to tell you that part. I'm a technical dude from wherever angle you see me. Let's continue doing request of TA. And so there is this question from Tushar is saying, Mariano, I've not put my money in the market. You think I should DCA or wait for a dip for the bull run ahead? Yeah. And yeah, unfortunately, most of you guys, you come to the market where we are, you know, i- in a very impulsive move at a very high risks, which is very disappointing. You don't have the patience to come to my channel when there's only 10 people watching the stream. So kudos to those that stay during the bear market and we bought at 15K and then we sold at 73 and then we bought at 49, 53 and all those levels. Kudos to them. At this point, I am looking for hopefully seeing an altcoin season eventually somewhere in 2025 if we get that additional liquidity. And for Bitcoin, I'm even thinking to move from Bitcoin into other things and looking for that opportunity because there has to be at some point a shift, a flow into altcoins. Um, I will, if I was you, I will look for a better pullback, and I will plan for that pullback and set some orders rather than now. Particularly today with high volatility, is very high risk. And I know seeing the coins, every single influencer telling you that the coins are pumping 50% and another 60%, and you start fearing missing out. And that's part of their game to get you caught. Could you look at Melania Memecoin? I would like to see what you think this morning. And it went from 7 to 14. I need to find where is Melania. I've never seen this on a chart. Melania, we got it on Bybit. That is the top result. I'm not sure if it's the one that has the oldest history. Potentially this one at crypto.com. Look at this. Can we do TA with that? It's very difficult. So they say it went to $14 and then it came back, put it in a lower low. Yeah, this looks ugly. Guys, I mean, when you trade a meme coin like this, high risk, which is pretty much guaranteed that you're being scammed by this, what you do is, you just enter anywhere and put $100 and forget about the $100. Okay, the bet in these things is whether eventually you open your account and suddenly it's $15,000, that $100, and then you take it. Whenever you find it, you take it, and that's it. That's the way I do it, and it's very difficult to do TA on this, although it's been respecting that, it could break out at some point there, but it could still put, a lower high and a lower low after that because it's literally crap. Okay, it's vaporware. It's worth nothing. Don't I'm not being political, okay? Any meme coin, if it's a football player, if it's the Pope, or if it's Trump, I don't care. It's just a scam, okay? If you cannot resist it, as I say, put $100, wait a month and see if it's something, and if it's more likely going to be zero by then, but your call. Let's do Doge, given that we are doing meme coins. Let's go with Doge. Well, with Doge we have plenty of history, and on the weekly time frame we slip below this. And something that worries me about Doge is that after we lost that support on the weekly, that we haven't reclaimed it. Because my guess when I saw this was, well, it's very arbitrary the way I'm putting the line. I could place it like that and still get away with saying that we are still above support, right? But if I do two touches, then I'm below, and then this is doing very little effort to reclaim support. Indeed, it's pointing like down, um, and I get it. The attention is going to other things, and this could recover after that other thing goes away, calling Melania, Trump, and possibly even Bitcoin topping on the dominance, which could help this reclaim the support. But at the moment, it's not looking great. If you look at the price action as well, there's been a strong rejection in here, right? This candle went a full week to 0.43 and it closed at 35. And now it's struggling again with the resistance of $37 on the weekly. So it looks to me like we went all the way here. We are having an A, B, and there could be a C. So if you want to discard that C correction where you go beyond to 22 cents, what we need to do is to form here some double bottom formation where we start thinking, well, there's a good chance that we recover. But so far, we are against resistance there. And I'm hoping that we can improve that in the short term. Manuel, thanks for the Argentinian pesos. We're going to look into gas. Yep, let's do that. So I'm a fan of Caspa, not for holding, but for trading bots. Look at this. This is just the paradise of a DCA bot. And I'm hoping that it's not gonna continue rolling over like it's doing in here, which it looks dangerous to me. And I'm hoping that it's just gonna uh, break above the highs of 19 cents. Yeah, but at the moment it's not looking great. With the rolling over, this looks like the first top of 2021 on Bitcoin. One high, higher high, higher high, and what I suspect, yeah, perfectly. The channel to the downside is kind of giving you X-rays against the rolling over. Every time that you see a rolling over, and what I mean by rolling over is, yeah, this curve, right? Every time you see this, you need to think two things. It's rolling over. 2, it looks like a Bart Simpson. 3, look at the RSI. If together with the Bart Simpson you see a channel down on the RSI, it means that they're distributing. And hopefully I mean, I don't have the tools now to show you whether the distribution is from whales or if from retail. Ideally, is from retail, and they're just panic selling, and then the whales are coming in and buying that. That gives you the highest chance to exit from the top. This is definitely tradable. It's almost very easy to forecast that eventually there's going to be a bounce, and then there's very strong bounces. It's very forgiving for a trader to enter anywhere in this range. Pretty much just don't enter at the highs when the RSI is peaking, and you should be fine. Even finding each of these hidden divergences are great opportunities to enter, but that's just for a swing trade unless we do something better. You can see that Caspa had a breakout in here. That was in the 2nd of December, but it lost the range. It came back below it, and now it's still below it, so it's not able to do anything. So the chart is looking choppy, sideways, and a little bit dangerous to lose support. So hopefully I'm wrong on that. Sorry for being pessimistic, but this is unbiased, open, transparent opinion. Let's look at Mana and Pyth. What's going on with Trump? Is he president already or not? Okay, he's talking, and let's see if I put subtitles. Let me know in the comments if he says anything to do with crypto. Okay, if he says anything, or if he has already, let me know as well, because that could explain the violent move that we just saw. Maybe he said Bitcoin or something, no Bitcoin, or buy Trump, whatever, in which case that could explain that move. I have no idea what caused it. It was just the beginning of the event, I guess. And let's do more TA in the meantime. We're going to do Mana and Pyth. I guess I'm pronouncing that properly. I pronounce everything wrong. Let's go with Mana, USDT. I don't like it. I'm with TA. I'm very emotional. I just look at the chart and it gives me chills sometimes when I see it, and I'm like, ugh, I'm not gonna buy that. But it's very tradable. It's kind of oscillating, and it's trapped between 24 and 79. It reminds me XRP. For a long time it was like this, and yeah, it reaches the high, sells. So let's look at the RSI if we see anything significant in here. So the way this is tradable at the moment is to look up for breakouts. So a breakout like this top to there. So you can basically wait until you get a breakout like this. And at the moment, we get this high there, and we haven't tested the resistance. And I think it's too early here to call it for a breakout. But on this coin favor, I could say that we are respecting here the support. So we are climbing this ladder and getting close to support at 50. So that support at 50 could be tradable for a swing. Assuming that we're not going to see a sell-off like this one. That sell-off, if you imaginary move all these moves to here, that will take you lower in here. So one way of trading this is to use some volume here, and then leave some volume for this in case you exit, in case this is a fake out, and then you end up exiting from lower, because it's repeating this performance constantly. But for long-term holding, unless you are an insider, or a guru in terms of fundamental research of the coin, and you know something about this, the price is saying that nothing is happening with this. This is just literally constantly liquidating longs and then shorts and then longs and then shorts, and that's pretty much what it's doing. Nothing new. With Pyth, let's see, USDT on Binance. This is listed on January 2024, and we got resistance here at 51 cents, and we got the support since September has been this. So my question is, why is this coin coming back to the support of September? September was supposed to be bearish month, and it's like going too low in the range for a coin. And also the RSI looks bad. So it broke down and it's just miserably losing momentum. What is good is that it has flashed all the longs. And I don't understand what the cross-V ratio is at the top if we are selling off. So I suspect there is a bug here with the cross-V ratio. I'm going to ignore that we are in the overbought. That makes no sense for this area. So what is tradable of this? It is tradable if you kind of look for a long after connecting a few pivots in here. So maybe we need to do that on the daily basis. So on the daily, we got this. We had a breakout on 17th of January, and we are retesting. So that could be tradable in there if we hold that support at 31 cents. That could be an opportunity if this plays out and continue going higher, because we are not as far from the final line in the sense. So I will say if we lose this 31 cents, get used to the idea of 24 cents, because that's the next level. So if that is a bad call, what I just told you, you could see this coin going lower there and then add a bit more, and hopefully you're just not buying a really crappy coin, because I have no clue what Pyth is. But if it's crappy, then forget about adding and just take the loss. But if you believe in the fundamentals, you could consider adding at 25 if we lose the 31. But that is support. It's tradable, and you could consider taking profits at the resistance. But if resistance gets broken, you might see some additional upside to the next order blocks at 40 cents, or if you get lucky, to 51 later in the bull market. So Trump just said, let me put the video in the background. Trump mentioned Department of Government efficiency, and Dodge went up. Yeah. That's because people are bullish on Dodge. Let's put that comment. Yeah. So if Trump doesn't mention crypto, will it sell off? That's a good question. I think if we end the event and there is no mention of crypto, which I think is no longer the case. Well, he didn't mention Dodge. He mentioned government efficiency. So if he doesn't mention anything to do with crypto, I will expect people to react negatively. It's just psychology. I don't think it has to do that he's not going to do it or something fundamental. It's just the people are going to trade this thing. I will expect that. Dodge advertising Elon on power. Can you do TA on Rune? Yes, I like Rune. I actually trade for 2 years in a row. I bought on Rune. It's been great. Let's go to Rune USDT. I sold my Rune. I held it all the bear market. I was bullish on Rune last cycle, and once I was in profit in here, I sold it. Once I was decently good in profit, I sold it. I'm a trader. I'm not. I don't want to be a holder anymore of crap. Where are we? So we are at $3. Wow, can't believe I sold almost at $10 and we went back to $3. I was expecting it by now to be putting higher highs. But yeah, this structure in here was looking pretty bearish. That is in June 2024. Then it went to $75 and then it continued correcting. My bot, I'm surprised, it has held pretty well. It hasn't had any issues so far closing the positions. Um, I put good time designing it. Let's see the RSI. I want to see the RSI on the weekly first. Okay, so there was a pretty decent rally of the RSI, and it broke the global resistance, and then it sold off. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a huge disappointment from people that expecting not to have an altcoin season. And the more I hear people saying that we're not going to have an altcoin season this year, I slightly get more and more bullish towards an altcoin season. The problem is when you hear everybody saying altcoin season and everybody prepares for it, that's where you need to start doubting that either it's going to happen, or if it happens, it's going to last very little, because, with everybody taking advantage of it is not great. Longs have stepped back big. Okay. So from the point of view of Delta longs, this is an opportunity there. um, it means that longs have been massively squashing here, and you can tell why, right? So we went from 67 all the way to 40, almost taking this low in here, 37. So this is pretty ripe for another bounce back up. It's testing support at $3. Of course, if you enter a trade on Rune in here that it was previously resistance, you need to think that possibly this could wick down like it did there, and it can wick up to $2.4 or maybe even lower, just to take the liquidity that this left. It could wick to 2.2, and you need to be prepared for that. Okay, so you don't put your order to buy at $3 and you stop loss at 2.9 when you see a wick there. Okay, you avoid that liquidity that has been left at 2.4. You avoid it. You either plan to put a stop loss way below, or you DCA if we get there, or you just don't trade this area. That's how you do it. I think it's looking good for a trade. I'm a little bit concerned that they has been so bearish, putting lower lows in here, but so many coins are seeing the same effect that I'm starting to think that it's just something systematical, that is affecting all at the same time. Nothing necessarily wrong with Rune. And let's look at Sol. On Sol, we can look at liquidity. I think I haven't looked at liquidity at Sol. Let's see liquidity. Let's do it in this tab. Scalping. No, let's do swing. Solana. Well, I was calling for 217. We went beyond to almost $300. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quick. I wasn't even prepared for that. And the thing is, last night, I think I sold quite a lot of Solana at 270, and I flip a bit to other coins just because it went too mental. So I did some distribution, and I'm going to say it publicly here. I don't care if it continues going higher. I just thought that getting into $300 is worth taking some profits out of the table. It can go to 500, 600. Sure, I have some left over there in case we do that. But I took some profits. There are no liquidations on the upside, with the exception of 308, obviously, because shorts enter there. And then we got below the price 150, and there's a vacuum there. If we go to the scalping, possibly we can see a bit more detail. Why this goes into day mode all the time. Let's remove the past history and see if we can catch something in red. Unfortunately, Solana only has the $213 in red in the short term. We got some small chunks here at 278. Not much to say with liquidities, unfortunately. Let's go back to the chart. Oh, the market is looking great. What is this S minus 18? I've never seen that before. And Pengu, move. Those are down, and Jasmine as well. The rest of the coins are all up. Good. And what about Solana in the chart? Okay, so this, if we close the weekly like this is great. And I'm going to tell you why. So when we were doing last time TA on Solana, we were at this area in here. We were in the scene of the crime, which is a opportunity to trade long, right? Uh, this was an opportunity, 177, and then this pullback, additional pullback, also was, and that pump into $300 almost. And what we need to do is to close above the resistance that comes from this previous high from the previous bull market. So that is more or less at a give or take $250. It would be really bullish to close above $250 to clear out the elephant in the room, which is a double top now here. Okay, we don't want a double top. We don't want this to come back down, and get back to $180 and form an information there. So we have already some bearishness on Solana. It was underperforming SUI and Ethereum for a while. It has recovered thanks to the Trump being listed in Solana, but you can tell that this rally of Solana against Ethereum happened just because of the Trump coin, and that's my concern. And no matter how much people love Solana and say that it's an amazing project and everything, I don't like seeing Solana pumping thanks to Trump meme coin. Okay, hate me for that, but personally, this is personal opinion. You're here to listen my personal opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Solana doing this. It should have done this without the Trump crappy coin. Okay, it should have done it via fundamentals, and thanks to the coin, it took the highs in here and it took liquidity from everything. It's speculation. It's just speculation, in my opinion. So it's got that risk of after Trump deflates and then Melania deflates coins, then what's going to happen to Solana? Are we going to lose interest again in Solana, and then it's going to flip back to other coins, and then see, losing this support? I don't know. That just leaves me thinking about it. And we got NBND Sniper asking for Supra. I sold at top, but long-term potential, in my opinion. Let's look at Supra. Okay, let's do that. Never seen this coin, so I guess I don't have any lines in the chart. And let's see. So I'm doing it on Bybit, and he sold at the top. So, well, great for you, because this has correct 76%. That is the typical correction that you see on altcoins. And let's see where we are in here, if there's anything relevant. So there's kind of a setup going on in here, but this should not carry on going lower than the support at 36 RSI on the 1 hour. And I remind myself that I'm in the 1 hour because I couldn't do weekly. Okay, so the caveat here for being 1 hour is that way more manipulated than if we do TA on a weekly basis. Unfortunately, we cannot do on a weekly, so that this is all we got. We can go to 4 hour possibly and see if we can spot something. So, well, that is the high. So in theory, this is a global breakout, right? That is global breakout, but you can trade a local breakout. You can trade a breakout like this. Unfortunately, this is not tradable. Can you see why? You break out And the moment you close the candle, when you get confirmation, you are at the top of the range against resistance. So what is the upside of a confirmed breakout on the 4-hour basis in here? There's no upside. You just hit the roof and come back down. So that wasn't tradable, but possibly this one was, this one in here. So you close there at 40 and then you can move to 57. That has upside definitely, but this didn't. So this coin is dude, if you took profits at the top on this coin on a chart looking like this, I would just stay away from it. I guess you want to, you're probably thinking, can I repeat the same thing I did already? And the answer is, I don't know. This chart is not telling me that is going to happen. You know, you could trade the global breakout, and now that I see it spans throughout the whole history. So it seems that on the 4-hour we are trapped below that. And one hint could be that this exits from the global breakout in there, in which case you can have a bit more of hope that it's going to do something. Let's see on the 8-hour. Yeah, there is something going on in there. There is some double bottom on the 8-hour. So you're in a squeeze there. So I suspect this either does the breakout or is really a crappy coin, in which case, just throw it away, move on to something else. Right. It's over. Everything dumping. No crypto, finance, BTC going back to Mariano level entry 91. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We are at 100K. Whoa. Did Trump say something? They keep singing here. So I wonder if the music is upsetting the traders or what. Okay, I don't like closing the week like this. Of course, we are just on Monday. We're just on Monday, and this could be just volatility. So calm down, guys. Calm down. Let's go to the order book. Let's see what's going on in here. So there's been a decent liquidation of longs at 99.96. This is the 15-minute chart. Remember last night from 106, we dumped into 99.6 and we had this size of liquidation. So it is relevant, the size of the liquidation. As I explained in the morning video, I told you that once we get to certain typical number, I need to go back, I think, to the 4-hour chart. Gosh, this takes an eternity to update. So on the 4-hour, my alpha is that filling liquidations of 300 has this full year also being a great alpha. So where are we in that 4-hour liquidation candle at the moment? We are getting to 224, and there is an increased likelihood of a bounce if we reach 312 in terms of liquidations. That's because this bubble is going to match that size, and that's kind of the average liquidation. More, it's like the moda. I don't know if there's a word for that in English. There must be one, but I don't know it. It's the most typical value, the most repeated value, and I respect it. Yeah, if we get there, we will see. And the order book, let's see if this one is updating. Let's do it in the live one. They haven't moved the 95. Let's see if they are increasing sizes. Let's go back to, let's do it on the 5 minutes. So yeah, people are being liquidated at this time. You can see it there live. And we have increase or decrease. I cannot tell. So let's look at with less brightness. No, it's increasing a little bit, but not that much. From 500 now to 526 is nothing. And the lower end, they're getting more confident that they can enter at 91. And the 90.3 is just being static there. Did they pull out from the top? No, they keep it at 900. They're still hoping to sell and dump at 120K. Cool. And can you please TA on Aave? Thanks for your detailed explanation. Let's do that. The music is upsetting the traders. Yeah, it could be. I mean, bad music can upset me, definitely. Aave. Yeah, most of the charts are going to look very similar, but Aave is looking better than other charts that you guys wanted me to review. Aave is still in the area of the potential bull flag breakout on the weekly basis. So it's not doing bad at all. It's being very, very, very resilient in this area. There must be something that is making people really bullish about Aave. And I hold a little bit of Aave. I do. And on the weekly basis, we are bouncing off this support. We came very close at 60, and holding that support increases the chances of continuation and a potential breakout. The target was 530. Uh, Hopefully, we're not going to see alts to continue to sell off. And hopefully, Aave is not going to break that support of 60 to keep the chances high for continuation. Let's see on the daily, because on the daily, we might be seeing a breakout. Yes, indeed, we have a breakout on the daily. That was on 15th of January, 5 days ago, but it's been just going sideways. And with the selling pressure, particularly with the Trump liquidity absorption in the market, it's been tough for the coin. It's been sold multiple times, 2 days in a row, reaching 363. It really wants to break out, but with all these things against the altcoins, is not managing. So I think it's worth monitoring that we don't put a low, obviously, in here, canceling out the setup and potentially losing the 243 support. That will be a little bit devastating, because if you consider we are already on Aave in the breakout area. So in here, we should get to the work and complete it, not come back and put a new lose support and then completely destroy and hammer the bull flag. At that point, there's a point of no recovery, in my opinion, and that is when you lose $242, and you should start getting concerned if you lose the 275, which was the support that started the rally on Aave. That's the first area of concern, is 277, losing that. Second is 244. At that time, you're kind of destroyed. Reversal now, please. Kevin is saying Trump bought Aave. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe it's a joke. I don't know. What do you think about the meme segment? Do you think it is over for coins like Pengu or Turbo? Uh, I'm not an expert in meme coins, guys. If you want, I can do TA on meme coins, but I'm not gonna talk about the meme super cycle and all this thing. To me, it's just like speculation, betting. There's very little TA you can do on those. Most of them are listed, and then they don't even have a history to trade, which makes it extremely high risk for a trader like me to get into any of them. That's the problem. That's why I don't cover them. I think that meme coins are a symptom of lack of liquidity and how diluted is the market. If there was enough liquidity in the market to inflate many more coins, we wouldn't be speculating and doing this, throwing the ball. So at the moment, the altcoin market throws the ball from one coin to the other one, and everybody gets their turn to pump, because there's not enough to pump all at once. In an altcoin season, everything pumps at the same time. Meme coins, coins with fundamentals, and true, there are turns, but you pretty much see everything in a smooth way up, because there's so much liquidity that people invest in everything. at the moment, the meme coins are doing really great because they are the definition of that, right? Of what is going to be the next thing that moves. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Hola Mariano, ¿podrías por favor hablar de SUI? Okay, let's go with SUI. He's asking for SUI, which levels can we expect in the next 3 months? Let's see that for SUI. By the way, on SUI, I was very interested yesterday that we were at support, and that was a good flip. So far, it has moved up 17% to the high from the area where we identify the support. This is support of SUI against Solana. So that is doing great. Let me see the actual chart of SUI USDT. So on SUI, as I said, I'm worried about this breakdown in here. It's looking pretty distributive, this area with all these wicks. Of course, this last candle, this weekly candle in here, the responsible is, the liquidity sucker Trump coin. The previous candle, it was just mainly because it was too overbought. And it's kind of repeating the rolling over that we had in March in 2024, where we broke down and we put a correction of 80% into the middle of the year. At the moment, I think that this correction, I attribute this correction to the fact that it's been just an incredible rally. Okay, it's reaching beyond the 1618, this rally to 2618. So another point in the extension, which is great for the coin, but it needs to take a breather and at least test support. I will say somewhere between 3.8, because that was a resistance towards the 3.5, which is this broadening wedge that we could go into there. At that point, I will be looking for what the RSI is doing on the weekly basis to see if this can revert back up. But at the moment, the structure, even on the weekly, is lower highs and lower lows, bearish divergence, and these calls and shouts give me my downwards channel. Having said that, there can always be moves like this, and on these peaks there, the price could produce a new all-time high. But to me, it's not worth at this point speculating on that, because it's a low likely scenario to put a new all-time high in here. But it's doable because just one more bearish divergence can give you that. We got this question: is time to short BTC? See you at 85. And he's asking for an entry for Link USDT. So let's do that. On Link, I'm bullish, but that's just because I like the coin and I still hold Link. I haven't sold it. I didn't sell at 29. I thought I'm just going to keep it for a little bit longer. I prefer it to some other coins, and it hasn't done as much as other coins. So I feel like there's still upside. Of course, non-financial advice, I can be wrong and then regret not having sold at 29, but I think there is upside. And the upside I have done in the past comes from weekly analysis from the bottom of 2023, June, to the top in here. Then this bottom information in August last year is giving us roughly a confluence around the $37 to $40. And that comes from the extension of Fibonacci together with this projection here from the flag. So I'm just placing there from the lows, and it's kind of giving more or less the same price, $37, $38. And that could be a great exit, or at least to half my side, because there's resistance as well there. You can see that week there is kind of equivalent to when Bitcoin hit 48. entering into the bear market in 2022, which is the area where Bitcoin sold off massively. Link started doing that from November 2021, and it was at that price, $38. So this is coming there at that area. It's going to be resistance. We might as well put a new all-time high, but I think this is a very interesting level. $33 is also very interesting. That's the highest close multiple times, 3 times. So $33, conservative, I will say. 37, 38, it's a bit more aggressive, and the all-time high is 52. And I'm not fully sure if we're going to do an all-time high this cycle, to be fully honest. All right. Next question is, with BTC, I can see any liquidity after 110K on CoinGlass. Will BTC really go up higher? Let's have a look at liquidity on Bitcoin. Oh, wow. We went right to $100, but so far we have put a high relative to this 99. So let's see if that holds there. But you're asking for the liquidity in the upside. So for that, I'm going to go to the swing chart on trading different. So here's my argument. We got plenty of liquidity in here. And I think that if we manage to hold decently in here, and the bears don't manage to get this to fully crash into 89K, there is a high likelihood that we take this first chunk in here. And on Glassnode, you cannot see, sorry, did you say Glassnode? Well, anyways, in this other website, the one that is free, the one I use, which is CoinGlass, you don't see all the long-term liquidity. You can see in here that I can catch something that happened in December. I can even scroll away and see, and I can go back in time. So I definitely can see a lot more. And I think that this is on the table and it's a low-hanging fruit for me. But of course, we want to protect some levels. And there's a very difficult question to answer now, because if we lose 100K at this point and we close a daily candle below 100K, my worry is that we come back in the previous range on the daily, and that makes not just this one that looked like a liquidity hunt when we went to 103, then this other one looks like another liquidity hunt, and then we start destroying kind of the bullishness of this. So I would prefer that we don't have to go beyond this, and so far we are respecting 100, and that keeps the likelihood of taking up until 118 still very high, in my opinion. Please look at BTC daily candle. Okay, let's look at that. So this is 4 hour, this is the daily. So yeah, you see what I mean, okay? This was a liquidity hunt, right? We spent 3 days above it, then a red candle took us back below. At the moment, at that point, we pinch 100K. 100K is there, is inside the range. And after you lose that range, we talk about going to the bottom of the range, and we have to make a very painful journey to 89. So now we have exit from the top, and we have these 2 candles, just like these 2 ones there, and then a red one, and then this green one that earlier was outside, which is still bullish, but we come back below 103, we're back inside the previous range. And you see what I mean? That makes this look as bad as that one. And this is just objectively speaking, assuming that the daily closes there. If it doesn't, we could pump in the next is 6 p.m. So we still have 6 hours to change this. And I'm hoping that we change it, right? We close above 104.5, still protecting that high. And that will be lovely to see, more than lovely, necessary. It looks strong, you think? That's fair enough. Everybody has their own view. And Vchain, someone is asking for Vchain vet. I'm gonna need the ticker for that. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it. Vchain. Oh, you're talking about vet. Okay, sorry, I got it wrong. I got confused. Vchain. So a while ago we were talking about resistance at 8 that has held, and we have lost a 50, which is psychological level as well, and we are battling to claim it back, the 50 cents. When it comes to the RSI, uh, 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 why do I have this line in here? Makes no sense. On the weekly, we had the breakout. Nothing really interesting there. On the daily had a breakout. That was in January 1st. Okay. And has it done anything? No, it's just going sideways and having a huge argument against 50 cents. You know, it claims it comes back down, tests resistance, just going sideways. I think this is a coin that wants to break out to the upside, wants to be bullish, but the market is still not ideal for the altcoins to do what they really can do. So what is currently doing is putting new higher highs, but every time it's selling off back into support at 42 RSI and just doing that thing constantly. But it is expanding, which is telling me with these higher highs that it really wants to continue with the breakout and do a lot more. But the market is taking taking it and pushing it back down every time. So I don't think there is something necessarily wrong with the chain. We should see first. I would like to see it closing above the 50 cents and then seeing uh, if we can put a higher low in here. So let's not come back every time to 41. That looks ugly. Thank you, Mohammed. And let's do Polkadot. So Polkadot, I like it. Yeah, very similar. You know, look at this RSI. It looks almost the same. You know, when you start seeing multiple coins mimicking each other in the RSI, it gives me the impression that pretty much you could trade the whole thing as a whole. It really doesn't matter the coin. There are some coins that are decent coins, like Polkadot is awesome, and Vchain is great as well. And you can tell in here that Dot is just doing the same, and it had the breakout from the top there around the same date. This was 30th of December, maybe first as well. You got resistance at $7.8 and your support is at 6.3, and it's just going sideways. There is no clues in here. It's just going sideways because it's being smashed by the ugly market at the moment. And let's do Ondo. Let's do Ondo USDT. Okay, Ondo is looking a little bit better, not in terms of necessarily the price action, but the RSI action looks cool. Why? There's some strength in here. The strength is that there has been a breakout with a retest there at 39, and it has been moving up. The price is being held by our resistance, which I left before, which is 1.38, and every time it's being sold, it's again this guy wants to go in this direction. Okay, it's ready to go in that direction, but the market is not allowing it, so it's being suppressed by the market poor conditions. And I will say, if you enter on this breakout and you've been doing my setup, I will just prepare in case the market becomes a little bit more ugly and look for the next level of, adding more at 1.1 or at 0.9 if you're more conservative and wait a bit longer, um, to eventually see this playing out. I think it should eventually play out, but is now even showing some weakness there, potentially breaking that support, in which case we could be seeing $1.1 again, which is not a big deal. Indeed, if we do something like this and we get to 1.1 and then we sell again to 1.1 and we do something like that, we get a double bottom and then we get a bullish divergence and we start thinking about taking eventually the 142 and then heading to the next level, which is 162 and hopefully $2 and higher than that in price exploration. And I'm gonna do the last one. The last one in terms of altcoins, people are already saying goodbye there, I can tell. And the last one is going to be wild. Okay, let's do wild. How many people are we? I think we were 700. Now we are 800. Wow, that's in total. Twitter plus YouTube. That is really great. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much for all the gifts. Many people were requesting coins. And I'm sorry if I miss some of you. It's not intentional. The comments are scrolling very fast. Wild USDT. Weekly basis. Oh, wow. No, this, well, I'm not sure. This is it's not tradable. It's just a joke, but this looks like a Head and Shoulders. But I don't think it's meant to play out. Okay, it cannot play out because if it play out, this thing, it will go negative price, right? You get the head is here and the two shoulders. So where do we put the neck anyways? Let's say we put it at 1.7. So that means that we need to go negative minus 9 for the target. So let's leave that aside. And let's talk about this breakout in August. Then we have support in here, which very difficult to tell, but we are kind of in the middle of losing the support. Not confirmed yet, but hopefully this is going to come back up, in which case that could be a buying opportunity. Let's see if this level is significant, because I already have the 1.5. Why did I put 1.5? Because of that. It's not very clear 1.5 is relevant. I tend to do that a lot. I do some TA and then I challenge my own TA, almost like saying, who did this TA? It's completely messy. I used to do the same when I was doing code reviews and I was looking at my own code and finding it really crappy and thinking, who wrote this crap? And it was me. Yeah. Now I do the same with the TA. Who did this crappy TA? Oh my god, so difficult to find support. Okay, let's close it there. That is the last support, and I'm gonna remove this one. It's just too much noise, and I'm gonna say, let's leave it there. So the next level of resistance is 3.8. I didn't have that level before, and it was holding the price on the dead cat bounce. It held the price there. And at the moment, we are facing $2.7 as resistance. And we are holding at $1.9. What I would like to see in this. Okay, another thing is we got this low, then that low there. I want to see something positive in here, but at the moment I'm seeing some negative things, which is in this trend line, we were holding this and then we lost it and now we are testing it as resistance. Let me drop the time frame and see what's going on. and we got that resistance there. Let's see if on the RSI we have done something about it. No. Okay, so that is great. We got a setup, a potential setup coming in for wild, which is we have this top 6th of December, another top in January, and another top on 17th of January. And every time we are seeing rejection in coming back to 36. So now we are seeing a higher low at 38 on the daily time frame on RSI, and I want to start challenging that resistance in here for a potential breakout. And I suspect that if we do that, we could do it first on the RSI and then on the price. And I will definitely want to see the price action taking back this level of $2.1 because it's looking ugly to be there. Luckily, the 1.9 is holding us. It has acted as resistance before, and now it's holding us twice. So hopefully this is ready for breaking out there so we can claim back the 2.1 and finally start putting higher highs on wild. And what is this coin? I have no clue, but it's very, very far from the previous all-time high of $11. Just made 3.8 in March. And now where it was supposed to have some bullishness, it made it only to 2.6, which is, kind of my concern with the bullishness of this coin at the moment. Yeah, it makes me itchy. Yeah, that was the last coin. Thanks so much, guys, for looking at the live stream. So far, we are holding the 100K. Hopefully, tonight we still hold 100K, so we get the highest chances to go for the liquidity at the top. And if you want your altcoins to really do great, what we need is Bitcoin to break out in here, to create a new range and trade it, and liquidity to come into crypto, into altcoins. So finally, we can get a decent altcoin season. So far, with the liquidity that we have, it's just bouncing the ball against altcoins, which for holders is a hell. For traders is decent. You can make money as a trader, but as a holder, it's just a nightmare. A nightmare. Anyways, I feel your pain, and hopefully things are gonna get better in the rest of 2025, thanks to the new administration in the house. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.